Hello, how you doing, Strat fans? It's me, Colonel Strat, the Strategy Extraordinaire here, and today I'm going to show you the one of my favorite tactics to use is the Skaven. It's the Meatshield tactic. So, the Meatshield tactic is, as you've probably seen, you get some cheap infantry like Skaven slaves, and then you have the weapon teams like rattling guns, poison wind mortars, and some warplock Jazales to pick off the enemies while Skaven slaves have them like just, you know, while Skaven slaves have them like bogged down. So like they're meant to just like shield. So they're not meant to actually hold or kill anything, but they're meant to shield from the enemy infantry so that we can kill them off and kill the enemy backline as well. In fact, I brought Icket with me on his Doom Wheel, because usually I use him to go for the back line because he's really, really strong and powerful. And I also have a chieftain with me. And of course I have all my weapon teams. So without further ado, let's get into this tactic and I'll show you how it works. So basically the gist of this tactic is just to rush like your Skaven slaves up here and like just take as many of the enemy as possible. Now I think I just like sacrificed this bone breaker here because I think he takes a whole lot of fire and just dies before he can reach the line. But yeah, he dies really fast. But it's alright. Because we still achieve the tactic even though we lose the bone breaker pretty easily. So the Skaven slaves, they go here, they mop up they occupy the melee line so that they don't get to the back line, and then the back line here, they shoot the enemy back line first, taking them out of the play, and then not worrying about the Skaven slaves, because again they don't matter. We're just going to do as much damage to the enemy as possible. Oh yeah, see, we lost our bone breaker there. Our rattling guns here are able to do a whole lot of damage to the enemy forces. We do lose this front over here, but it doesn't matter because we've done the damage. Icket is messing up the enemy backline here, and like this enemy front line is just collapsing under our fire. The Jazales are used to snipe big units, while the mortars and the rattling guns are used to kill like the main army. So you see, we lost most of our Skaven slaves on one side, but they will come back. They rally forth, but they've done their job already, as you know, the enemy front line is decimated, and we've decimated a lot of the enemy lines. We do take a little bit of fire, but the enemy doesn't reach us. We kill the Lord, because the rattling guns just do that much damage, and then we're able to catch these guys in the open, do a lot of damage to them with the poison wind mortars, and effectively force them to retreat as well. And then, over here they're still doing God's work. So, and we're just about to mop up the enemy forces. And as you see, the enemy forces are retreating. Our Skaven slaves have rallied, and they're coming back into the fight just to secure it up. And we've just about mopped them up. So yeah, there we go. And here we are with some storm vermin. So the biggest difference you'll see between the two, because we're facing the same army, but now we have some storm vermin, and these guys can hold better. They have better leadership, they have better armor and all that, so they're going to be able to hold better. And I don't think they don't retreat. So that's the whole difference between that one and this one. We still do take a little bit of damage with the bone breaker, but I'm able to keep him in the fight this time. And again, we're just, as soon as the lines clash, we start going at it. But again, with the missile troops, they're going to go for our backline here. So we got to make sure we attack the backline first. And if you don't micromanage it a little bit, you'll start to see some bad stuff. So like you see how I didn't micromanage this, and this one right here got completely decimated because I didn't do that. But as soon as I start micromanaging it and have them shoot the back line while my guys hold the front, we're able to decimate the back line and we've already pretty much wiped the front line as well. So like the line doesn't break in this one with Storm Vermin, which already makes them a better contemporary to the Skaven slaves, but the cost is what does it for you. So like you see here, we're able to like hold while we decimate the back line with our superior range. So right there, the fact that they held and we didn't have to, like, our skirmish mode wasn't activated, is already makes them far better than Skaven slaves. But it's just the price. Like if you want to rock 8 things of Storm Vermin, then yeah, that's fine. Or you could do 6 as well. It could work with a lot of things. But you know, you gotta realize that they're going to be very, very costly compared to Skaven slaves, which is why you would use Skaven slaves in the first place. Because they still do the same job. They do. But like the Meatshield doesn't have to be uber powerful, so you don't need something like this. But again, they will hold better. So in the late game, I usually do that because I usually upgrade to them because they hold better and they're just all around better units. So as you see, we pretty much routed them the same amount of time. So again, they did hold better, but I mean, they didn't force us to get it to kill them faster, because again, we still have the same good units back here, but we were able to hold, and as you saw, they didn't break through. So that's the biggest draw to Storm Vermin over the Skaven slaves. So with that, strat fans, I'm glad that you guys stuck around for this tactic, and it's a very effective Skaven tactic, and it can be used with the Chaos Dwarves as well. But the Chaos Dwarves have more artillery than weapon teams. But either way, it's a really good tactic, and you just make sure you have a good Meatshield unit, whether it be Skaven slaves, Orc laborers, or Storm Vermin later on. You want to make sure that you have a decent front line that can block and blob the enemy, keep them from getting to your back line, and have the back line shoot over them. When they're on a hill, that's even better, because if you're on a hill, then you're able to fire right through. But if not, then you'll have to circle around and fire in the backs. But I think they did edit it to where you can, fire right through. Alright, so without further ado, strat fans, I thank you for your time. Keep it strategic. Colonel out.